Shalom Israel. I'd like to say all praises, honor, and glory be to YAHAWASHI, double honors to the elders of GMS. Shalom to the Lekman out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and truth and sincerity. This is Our Temptation, segment 2, clips and edification.
Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over. Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior? You will rule on that.
Can you control another person with your mind? Researchers at the University of Washington say they've done just that. This video posted on the lab team's website shows the researchers hooked up to electrical brain signaling caps. While watching a cannon-firing video game, one team member imagines his own finger flicking during the game.
Yes!
He's able to trigger that motion in his partner.
Brain control beats mind control any day of the week, because the brain tells the mind what to do.
A Duke University neuroscientist responded to the experiment, saying it's not a true brain-to-brain interface. It's like using a phone signal to trigger a magnetic jolt to the brain.
The force can have a strong influence on the weak-minded.
The researchers plan to publish the result of these experiments in a scientific journal.
The cleric is the final line of defense. If the resistance compromises it, we are doomed.
Right, so the clip that I had planned is a clip from this movie called Equilibrium. You know, basically it's pretty much like a fictional movie, but it has truth to it if you pay attention to it with the spiritual eye. And when it's saying right here, freedom is a thing in the past, when you seen a dude, a Christian Bale, I believe that's what his name is, you know, he said there's nothing that we can't do, showing you that that's a form of martial law. And ultimately, you know, people in this movie, they get shot up with this serum, you know, through a needle, which represents the chip. You know, it's a liquid form, but it represents the chip, and it dulls your senses, and it controls your mind into the way the government or the Illuminati, aka the New World Order, wants you to think. And that's exactly what the chip does. It controls your brain frequencies so that you will be able to think according to how they want you to think, so that they can control you how they want to control you. Okay, so that's what basically this movie is about. And they have in this movie also too a group called the Resistance, which represents what? Us men of the Truth Force, going against, you know what I mean, the society, going against the chip and standing up for righteousness of YAHAWASHI, man. Okay?
In the mid-1960s, a procedure developed by Dr. Jose Delgado took psychosurgery to a whole new level.
I was continually thinking about the brain, about the possibility to do research, about the possibility to go inside, in the depth of the brain.
Rather than cutting things out of the brain, as Walter Freeman had done, Delgado decided the best thing to do was to insert something into the brain.
At Yale, Delgado became fascinated by the idea that electrodes implanted in animals' brains could control aggressive behavior. In the summer of 1964, to perform a truly audacious stunt,
He chose not a rat, nor a mouse, but a bull.
The owner, he said, well, you can do that with cats and monkeys, you can do that with bulls, can you? Well, I don't know. Let's try. Would you allow me to place electrodes in one of your brave bulls? Sure, do that, no problem. But you will not be able to pacify him. I don't know, maybe not. Let's try.
Dr. Delgado really did intend to stop an animal specially bred to be aggressive in its tracks. This footage shows Dr. Delgado in action.
We anesthetized the animal. There we implanted electrodes in the head. Well, next day the bull was normal, and the bull was just going around charging against anybody who could be in the war ring. It's not completely normal. Then I thought, well, I know a little about bullfighting, so I'm going to test this by myself.
Delgado leapt into the ring with an extremely dangerous animal, armed with nothing but a remote control. He was betting his life that this would work.
The animal was a few feet away. I pushed a button in the radio simulator and the animal really stopped completely. It was frightening, but it was an experiment. And so when the experiment was over, the bull was in very good health and I was in very good health also. So no problem.
Jose Delgado was jubilant and saw the success of his experiment as just the beginning.
That took us to another big step. If electrodes implanted in animals are possible, can we implant electrodes in the human brain?
A clearer experiment was performed with cats. In this classic example, the hypothalamus, the rhythm maker, was implanted with electrodes. Could it be responsible not just for rhythms, but also for rage? The switch is turned. Then the switch is turned off.
At 7:48 this morning, a bomb exploded on a train outside of Chicago, killing everyone on board.
What is my mission?
A secret program called the Source Code will send you back in time to relive the last 8 minutes of a passenger's life on that train.
Now, once again, this is another movie, of edification called Source Code. And basically, within this movie, another fictional story, but it tells the truth. And it shows you how, basically, this army soldier, he had half of his body blown off, but they kept him alive by playing with his brain frequencies to make him go back into the past to clear up certain events so that the future could be better, which is ultimately a fictional story. But from that, you get the picture, and the picture is that they can play with your brain waves, they can play with your frequencies, and that's all due to the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, that hour of temptation. Okay, so it's just a quick segment, but with that, I'd like to say all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, the Bwana to the elders of GMS, Shalom to the elect men out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and truth and sincerity. Shalom, death to America.